Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Channel 2 News Bulletin. I'm Abir Mitwali. We'll start off with the headlines, followed by the news in detail. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli asserts need to strengthen electrical feed to new agriculture and industrial urban communities. Egypt welcomes Australia's decision to recognize Palestinian state at United Nations in September. And Palestinians pay farewell to 5 journalists killed in Israeli attacks in Gaza City. Welcome back. The news in full. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said the government is following up efforts to support and strengthen the electricity grid and to provide needed feeds for different uses, notably as part of state plans for sustainable development. The Prime Minister was speaking at a meeting that discussed the provision of power feeds for agricultural development projects in the New Delta. The meeting reviewed efforts by the Ministry of Electricity and Renewable Energy to ensure continual availability of electrical power services amid currently rising consumption due to rising temperature. And at a separate meeting, Prime Minister Madbouli asserted the important role of the new Egyptian Countryside Development Company as a developer and responsible agency for national projects to develop and reclaim 1.5 million faddan. The Prime Minister's meeting with the chairman of the company probed progress made to complete this mega national project, to which the state attaches top priority as a driver in establishing new and sustainable urban communities based on agriculture. The Prime Minister held another meeting with the chairman of the Golden Triangle Economic Zones Authority. The meeting followed up the authority's role in the development of the promising zone of the Golden Triangle, which boasts various strategic resources. Prime Minister Madbouli reviewed action plan of the development of the zone for the year 2025-2026, with the authority's chairman saying his authority aims to achieve financial sustainability and avoid increasing financial burdens on the state. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Immigration Badr Abdelghati on Monday said Egypt and Cote d'Ivoire agreed to consolidate their mutual economic cooperation and trade exchange. Addressing a press conference in Cairo after meeting Ivory Coast Foreign Minister Kakolyon Adom at the ministry's headquarters in new administrative capital, Foreign Minister Abdelghati said there are many Egyptian companies investing in mining and infrastructure fields in Cote d'Ivoire. Abdelghati said both sides discussed the agreement of free continental trade. He added that they discussed cooperation in the field of combating terrorism and tackling security challenges and developments in the region. Abdelghati also said they tackled the war of genocide and starvation in Gaza and stressed the importance of a ceasefire in Sudan. For his part, Ivory Coast, the foreign minister, said Egypt is a leader in African development. He added that both sides started cooperation in tourism and aviation to benefit from Egyptian experience. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Immigration and Expats Badr Abdelghati asserted Egypt's categorical rejection of Israeli cabinet decision to expand military operations and consolidate Israeli occupation of the Palestinian territory of Gaza. Over a phone call with German Foreign Minister John Wadful, Abdelghati reiterated that the decision poses grave risks and will lead to more deterioration and instability in Gaza. The top diplomat also called on the EU to move to stop the Israeli escalations and to put an end to the Israeli policy and starvation and systematic killings of the Palestinians. Egypt on Monday welcomed Australia's announcement that it will recognize the Palestinian state at the United Nations General Assembly in September. A foreign ministry statement said the move, coupled with similar recent moves by other countries, is a step forward fair, durable and comprehensive peace in the Middle East. The statement described the decision as a historical move that contributes to backing and restoring the Palestinian rights, enabling the Palestinian people to exercise the right of self-determination and to realize the aim of establishing an independent state with connected territories along the borders of 1967, with East Jerusalem as its capital. Egypt's 12th aid convoy entered the Gaza Strip on Monday as part of the Egyptian Red Crescent's initiative Zed El-Izza from Egypt to Gaza that was launched in late July. The convoy was entering from a secondary gate of the Rafah land port on its way to Karam Abu Salim crossing, where it will be inspected by Israeli occupation forces. The convoy carries tons of food, baby milk, medical supplies, sanitary supplies, and relief aid as part of Egypt's efforts to support the Palestinian people. Hundreds of Palestinians gathered Monday to mourn 5 journalists, including prominent reporter Anas al-Sharif, who were killed in an Israeli airstrike on tent near Shifa Hospital in Gaza City. Reporters Without Borders condemned the acknowledged murder of al-Sharif in Gaza, who is the Israeli. Emmanuel Macron on Monday condemned Israel's plan to expand its operations and take control of the Gaza Strip as a disaster and a path to permanent war. Macron said Israeli hostages and the people of Gaza will continue to be the primary victims of this strategy, adding that the war must end now with a permanent ceasefire. In a statement, Macron said it was important to establish a UN-mandated stabilization mission to secure the Gaza Strip. European Union foreign ministers on Monday will discuss upcoming negotiations between the United States and Russia over Ukraine ahead of talks between Presidents Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump in the U.S. state of Alaska on Friday. Top EU diplomat Kaja Kallas said any deal between the United States and Russia to end the war in Ukraine had to include Kiev and the bloc, urging more U.S. pressure on Russia to negotiate seriously. And Russia's regional officials and the defense ministry said on Monday that 3 people were killed in Ukrainian overnight drone attacks targeting the Tula and Novgorod regions, as well as Moscow. Tula governor said 2 people died following an attack before midnight on Sunday on the region that borders the Moscow region to its north. He added that 1 person was killed following a Ukrainian attack targeting an industrial zone in the Nizhny Novgorod region in western Russia. Russian air defense destroyed a total of 59 Ukrainian drones overnight, including 12 over the Tula region, and 7 were heading to Moscow. Welcome back. Head of General Authority of Suez Canal Economic Zone, Walid Gamal-Eddin, signed a deal on establishing Chinese factory of textile in Qantara area western of the economic zone. The investment cost of the project is valued at $22.6 million on 80,000 kilometers square. The project provides 1,500 job opportunities. On the sidelines of the signing, Gamal-Eddin said that the economic zone has succeeded until now in signing contracts of 32 projects in Qantara of total investments valued at $822 million. Egypt's bourse closed lower today amid sell-offs by local investors and Arab foreign corporations against the purchases by Arab and foreign investors and local corporations. The market capital of listed companies lost billion Egyptian pounds, crossing 2.4 trillion pounds at the end of an average transactions of 44.2 billion. The benchmark index EGX 30 dipped 0.6% above the 25,900 point mark. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and 100 both fell 0.5%. Oil prices stabilized today as investors looked ahead to the talks between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska at weekend on Friday, and ending Ukraine's conflict with U.S. policy towards Russian oil exports in focus. London's Brent crude rose 0.6% to $66.99 a barrel, while U.S. crude gained 0.5% to $64.20 per barrel. Welcome back. The sports news. Egypt's U19 handball national team take on their rivals from Czech Republic in the 11th IHF Men's Youth World Championships main round at 7:30 p.m. Cairo local time. The young Pharaohs qualified to the main round after clinching 3 respective wins over South Korea, Bahrain, and Japan, topping Group G on 6 points ahead of Japan on 4 points, Bahrain on 2 points, and South Korea, who remained pointless. The Egyptian team secured qualification for the main round along 16 other teams divided on 4 groups, having paired with rivals from Denmark, Czech, and Japan, with the top 2 of this group will qualify to knockouts. The tournament is being hosted by Egypt on August 6th, 17th, featuring 32 teams. Crystal Palace pulled off another Wembley upset by beating Premier League champion Liverpool to lift the Community Shield yesterday. After stunning Manchester City in the FA Cup final in May, Palace defied the odds again, winning a penalty shootout 3. And that's all from me, Abir Mitwalli. Thanks for watching, and please stay tuned.